go. Check the volume. I don't have microphones today, so hopefully the volume is all right. The angle is not great. Let me adjust this a little bit. All right, let's fix this. I'm gonna get real up close and personal for a minute here. All right. All right, I think we're good. We're here. I'm here. I'm here all by myself. So, all right. Beth, you're on time. So I was kind of hoping to have a guest star for today, a guest co-host, but I seem to have lost him. I don't know where he went. So I'm at home because Eric had his eye surgery yesterday, and I'm here just, doing the wifely nurse duties just in case. But also, sometimes it's nice to take a day off. So I have been home since yesterday, and antsy to get back to the shop because I have things there that I want to play with, and I just haven't had a chance. So I'll let y'all come on. I don't have much to tell you today. I don't really even have anything to show you. I have like one thing I can show you, but it's just been it's the last couple of weeks have been, just trying different things out, new machinery, new gadgets, new whatever. So I've just been kind of playing around, and I don't know if I really have too many other updates, but if you have questions, let me know. Illinois says hi. Hello, Illinois. Some of you signed up for classes at the shop, which is exciting, including Beth Miller coming all the way from Illinois to come take a class, 2-day workshop at my studio. Oh, look, Stevie Wonder's here.
Yes. We on yet?
Stop yelling.
We on? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Hey everybody. Hi.
This is my life. So.
Oh, Jess, you kissed so well. Oh, thank you.
Oh my goodness. Hi.
I'm good, everybody.
I don't know how. I told you this isn't going to be a great one. No black T-shirt. No, he's wearing green today. I know. You throw them off every time you don't have black on.
Mind-boggling.
It is mind-boggling.
Hi.
Yes. Hi. So all the Vandenbergs are here. Somebody wants you to sing. Please don't.
What do you want me to sing?
No. Why don't you put your glasses back on? So what are we going to tell them today?
Oh, I just want to say to all
Hi.
the people that post on the group that everybody's doing a fantastic job and
Well,
everything
that's
looks
very nice of
beautiful.
you.
And keep it up.
I'm sorry.
What?
Shelly said it's probably because you can't see what color you're wearing. I'm sorry.
That's nice.
I'm sorry. That was not very nice.
Yeah, and also that Jess has a lot of new ideas. Is this just laughing today?
Yeah. Oh, have you not been here before? This is what we do.
No.
That's why all the people that don't like us don't come back, because we laugh too much.
Okay.
Amy said, "How have you ever seen Stevie Wonder's wife?" Neither has he. Oh, and now we're just on a totally different wavelength. This is normal for us, though. So if this is your first time, I'm real sorry that this is where you're joining us.
But I can see a lot better. It's
Yes.
awesome. There's no more haze or anything in my left eye.
And you're not even totally there yet because you're still dilated.
Where are you?
So, now I'm here.
Oh.
Okay. Hopefully.
Am I-
hopefully by tomorrow you'll.
Like, am I 5 meters dilated? 6 meters?
Nobody
millimeters?
wants to be 5 meters dilated. That
Yeah,
would be
no,
a
that'd
very
be
large baby. It's centimeters.
Oh.
And you're good. Sit back. Get comfortable. What are you doing?
I'm not staying because I gotta do a Terminator shoot.
Oh my god.
I'm filling in for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You're done?
I'm done.
Okay.
So it's nice seeing everybody.
Relatively.
Peace out.
Goodbye. Eric had cataract surgery, so yes, he's one of the lucky ones. We were the youngest people in the waiting room yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I am amazed. Like, if you're a doctor or a nurse or you do any of that kind of stuff, I'm blown away by how fast. Like, he went in. I think we sat there for like 40 minutes before he went in. He went in and they said, oh, it'll be a few hours, you know, because whatever. The surgery itself's not long. So I grabbed something to eat and I came back and I sat down and it was like 5 minutes later, like, he's all set to leave. I cannot believe that they can do things like that quickly. Like, that's kind of crazy to me. But, yes, I have my dog. She will probably leave at some point because, yeah, she's looking at him in the kitchen. Are you going to leave me? You had 2, Linda? So far, he only has the 1. So, yeah, it's a super fast surgery. And the healing, I mean, there really isn't a lot. Like, it's not, you know, you don't have stitches and all this stuff to heal. It's just 4 weeks of eye drops, but that's about it. His eye looks a lot better than it did yesterday. It's still dilated, but, I mean, it looks a lot better. And he can see better already. And a lot of people said that he would be very, very sensitive to light. And he is, but not, like, over the top. So, I don't know. I think it's going pretty well.
I am sensitive.
You are I know you're sensitive, sweetheart. I know. So for now, it's just me and Roxy. She will leave, I'm sure. So, Shelly wanted to know what the printer was that I got. So I wanted to tell you what that is and what my future potential plans are. It's hard to make plans when you don't know for sure how something's going to go. So what I want to do and what I will do could be 2 different things. That's why I don't get too excited just yet. So the printer that I bought is a sublimation printer. It's the Sawgrass SG500. I have done some research. I've wanted one for a while, but I don't sublimate. I don't know anything about it. It's like buying your first embroidery machine. Like, you know what the potential is. You know what embroidery is. I knew she'd leave. But you haven't done it before, so you're not 100% sure what you're doing. So I've been watching a lot of videos, reading a lot of stuff, kind of figuring that out. And so far, it's not too hard. The setup was actually easy, except for the Wi-Fi. I was having a horrible time getting the Wi-Fi set up. But I finally got that. I think I was just too distracted. There were people around and I couldn't get it done. So got it all hooked up, got it set up on my computer so I'm able to print things. And so when you're making sublimations, I don't have one in front of me. I'll show you later. Hey, Eric?
Yeah.
Can you come here for a minute?
No.
He will. When you're doing a sublimation, the reason that you need a special printer or a printer that's set up specially, you need special ink and special paper. So you can't just print from a regular printer and, you know, put it on any kind of paper. It has to be sublimation paper, which is a heat transfer. Oh, you came back. And it also has to be sublimation ink, which are going to be heat set inks. So I bought a printer that is specially made for that. A lot of people use an Epson printer, the one that has the, doesn't have cartridges, it has like the actual ink that you put in. And a lot of people are, you know, converting those. And I've heard good things about both. I went with the Sawgrass, you know, we'll see how it goes. So, so I bought that. I did some printing. The fun thing about the sublimation prints, like the thing that you have to know, and this is, you could decide that you want to buy one from someone. Could you just bring me like one of the papers? Like that little,
This stuff?
no. Like that little scrap of paper that has the different colors on it.
This?
Yes, yes. Can I have that? So the reason I want to show you this is because if you go on Etsy, there's tons of sellers on Etsy that will sell sublimation prints that you can buy. So if you already have a heat press, then you don't have to invest in anything else. If you have an iron, they can be kind of, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. They can be kind of hit or miss because we can't control the temperature of our iron the same way that we can the heat press. And we can't control the pressure. So this is a print that I bought like a while ago. Barb, if you're watching, I found them. So this is what it looked like on the paper. And this is what it looked like on this little mouse pad. They sent me this with the printer. They send you a couple of things to sublimate on. So you can see, if you ever order one, I'm telling you this now, if you ever order one and it comes in really dull and you think to yourself, something's wrong here, or the words are backwards, they're supposed to be backwards. Because once you heat press it, you see how much brighter it gets? So it can be a little bit deceiving, and I forgot, like I knew that, but then I had forgotten because I hadn't looked at these in a while. So my first print, I thought, uh-oh, this doesn't look very good. It's not supposed to look great and really bright when you print it out. So that's how it looks. So I saw somebody had a question. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Bayani did a little thing on cork this week, and I did not get a chance to watch the video yet. I've had a couple other things, and I didn't know it was happening until after it happened. But yes, I will have to go check out and see. I like to see what other people do with cork. So the reason that I bought this printer is because I want to sublimate on cork. I just have to find the best way to do it. It's not something that's easy to research because most people sublimate on tumblers, which I showed you yesterday, on t-shirts, on mouse pads, on things like that. One of the other things with sublimation printers is that the sublimation prints are made to go on specially coated or specially finished products. Or if you're doing them on a t-shirt, you wouldn't want something like this that's cotton. You want something that's at least 65% polyester. So because the sublimation inks, there's science behind it. I'm not going to explain that because I don't understand it. I'll have to get my sister to do that. The science behind it doesn't absorb into cotton fibers the same. Well, cork is a natural substrate. So I have been trying to sublimate on the cork and it's not coming out the way that I want it. So I've been researching different ways of doing it on vinyl and leather and wood and trying out some different techniques to kind of, play around. So everyone was saying you can't sublimate on cork. The information was spotty. But the cork that they're sublimating on is also like cork coasters, which I understand it is the same base product, but it's made differently. The manufacturer that we get a lot of our cork from does have sublimated prints. The Garden Bloom and the Painted Flowers, those are sublimated, which means sublimation is possible. There just might have to be extra steps in order to do that. So it's definitely something that I'm playing around with. That's why I'm not making any promises. I'm not giving you any information on that right now or showing you anything because it has to be done correct. It has to be, I'm not going to sell something that sublimates and looks like this. I want it to be bright and saturated and pretty. So I have some ideas, and worst case scenario, if it doesn't work on cork, I can make tumblers, which is something none of us can ever have too much of, right? So this is one of the ones that I made. This was one of my practice ones. It's not perfect. It came out better than the other two because I pressed it for less time. Don't overpress. And I'm just kind of figuring that out. But I definitely will be doing some tumblers because I bought a tumbler press because why not? So that was kind of fun. So, yeah, Shelly, I agree on that. The Bayani patterns are not necessarily cork friendly, like the technique with the binding and everything. I think you could definitely add cork as an accent in certain places. And again, it would also depend on your machine and your dexterity, because I feel like trying to put binding on something that has cork would be really tough. But I'm speaking without watching the video, so I don't know anything. I don't know what they were doing in that video. Excuse me. So let me just see if there's any other questions that I missed. So that's basically what has taken up most of my week, is researching sublimation. And as I told you guys a while ago, once you get into a certain algorithm on social media, that's all that you see. So right now my TikTok is flooded with sublimation stuff, which is fine because I'm learning lots of things. And I also, I had a comment on one of my TikTok videos telling me like a tip for getting my my tumblers to sublimate better, and I just thought that was so cool because we all know how brutal social media can be, and you all know what happens sometimes. There's people that are just like, oh, you're doing it wrong. But then there was this lovely person that was like, here's a great tip for you, and I was like, awesome. I will take all the tips that I can get. This is really cool. So this has now led me down this total rabbit hole of DTF printing and what is that and all of these other things, and it's like, so I really need to get off the computer and design bag patterns and sew, but that's where I'm at right now. Barb, he is good. You missed him. He was here. He stayed for a minute and then he left. So Oh, Jackie, you just found me this past week. Well, awesome. Welcome. Normally our lives are in the office and Barb is here with me. Barb's on the comments right now, but she's usually sitting next to me. And we just mostly talk about pretty much nothing. So if this isn't your cup of tea, the tutorials are probably a better place for you. What are you looking at? You want something? Can you come here? Okay, my dog wants something I'm not getting it for. So, um, so let's see, what else did I want to tell you? Other things that I got this week. So we are sublimating and working on some different things. Eric currently has one working eyeball. Let's see what else. Thank you. My sense of humor. Yes, it's called coping. This is how I deal with my life. So I also got the Scan and Cut, which I know I showed you guys in the box. It is out of the box. So I have a Scan and Cut. I have two of them now. The one that I bought is the newer version, so it does a few things that my other one doesn't do. And I have an idea that will tie in with the sublimation, so I'll be using both of those. So hopefully this weekend I can play around and see if my thought translates. I'm really excited to see if it works, and if it does, I think you guys will be excited too. So I have a lot of things to play around with. I buy things because I love them and I'm excited and I like to play with new things. And I think any of us can understand that once you're like a hobbyist or crafter, you know what I mean. Once you're creative, you just want to get your hands in everything. You just want to like try out all sorts of different things. It's just kind of what we do. So having all these different tools are fun, but I also want to use them for my business, obviously. So I'm trying some different things out. And the last thing, which I also told you, was the dot painting. So why did I start dot painting? I have no idea. Mostly because I have been just drawn into these videos. It's social media that gets me. I find somebody and I get drawn into these videos and I think, well, that's a new hobby that I don't have. And I don't really have the time or the necessity. I don't need this. But this last weekend during the virtual retreat, I just wasn't in the mood to sew. And it's okay to take a break. It's okay to not be in the mood to sew, even if it's your business. Even if right now festival season is upon us and you're trying to get bags done. It's okay if you need to take a break and do something else. I need to keep my hands busy, and I like to do creative things, because if I'm not painting or sewing, then I'm doing this too much on the phone. And yes, it's research, but it's too much sometimes. So the painting, I thought, could be twofold. It could be a really cool class, since I do have a classroom now, but it also could be something that once I get to the hang of the sublimation, I can scan some of those designs in and sublimate those designs on things. How cool would that be? A hand-painted design on one, and then a scanned, sublimated version of that on something else. There's just so many things. There's just so many things and not enough time. Oh, awesome. Dalva, I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Your order is coming in. That's awesome. It's getting to Puerto Rico. So you're trying to figure out how to come to a retreat. What will my husband do? Well, that is a good question. What do we do with husbands while we're sewing? There's a brewery across the street. We can send him over there for drinks. We can find something for him to entertain himself. If you want to come for one of the 2-day sewing retreats, we'll find something for him to do. Or, you know what, leave him at home. Talk about how absolutely mind-numbingly boring it will be for him, and just say, you know what, you should probably just stay home, and then you just come by yourself. We'll figure something out for you. So I will tell you, Eric's not a drinker. Eric isn't really into like museums and stuff like that. So taking him to something like this, like if I was not teaching and I was the student, it would be hard for me to take him. He would entertain himself, but it wouldn't be the easiest thing for him to do. We were supposed to go to Florida last winter. I went and he unfortunately couldn't make it. And one of my friends was like, oh, and there's this car museum and there's this and there's that. And I thought to myself, he's not going to do any of that. I'm going to throw the ideas out there, but chances are he's just going to like find a place just to like veg out and just wait for me to finish teaching. So, you know, sometimes the husbands, we leave them at home, and it's okay. It's totally fine. You know, it makes them appreciate us more when we're gone for a few days. That's my opinion anyway. Oh, that's a great question, Jackie. I can answer that. You love learning about me. There's a lot. There's a lot of stuff that comes out of my mouth. What got me started with cork? I can actually tell you. So that social media. I'm sorry, I'm getting warm now. Social media is how I got started. It was, I'm just trying to think, probably 2014, 15 or so. I was on Instagram. Can you stop staring at me? Come on, get over here. Get over here. Thank you. Come on. I was on Instagram and I followed some bag makers, not necessarily pattern designers, but bag makers, because I love to see people's finished products too, especially when people sell them. I love to see how creative they get and like what their best sellers are and what kinds of things they make and what kind of markets they go to. And a lot of times they'll post pictures of like their booth displays. And even though I'm selling unfinished product and they're selling finished, I would see some of their booth displays and get kind of, ideas for me for when I was traveling. So I had followed this girl, and I cannot remember her name to save my life. She's from Canada, and she was posting these gorgeous bags. We had a very similar aesthetic at the time. She was Allison Glass, tulip pink, bright colored bags, really cool stuff. And she kept adding accents instead of in vinyl in what she was calling cork leather or cork fabric. And I was like, what is that? And I assumed, because I knew she worked in vinyl, that this was some kind of vinyl that was printed to look like cork. So I finally messaged her and I was like, what is that? Like, I'm very curious. It's really pretty. What is it? And she said, it's cork from Portugal. It's like actual cork. It's made into a piece of fabric. So it's like a piece of leather or vinyl. So I was like, well, that's intriguing. So I went on Etsy, and at the time there weren't a lot of people selling it. So when I went on Etsy, the only place I could find it was directly from Portugal. And I remember they had, I want to say 4 or 5 colors. They had, it was all basic. They had like a black, a brown, and a couple different natural kind of textures. I ordered a piece. It took like a month to come in because I ordered one piece of cork. And when it got there, I was blown away by how soft it was. It was what we call the smooth natural. And I had, at the time, I worked for my husband, so I was in his mechanic's office, and I had it laid out on my desk. And every guy, it wasn't the women, it was every guy that came in was like, what's that? And they touch it and they were like, that's so soft. And I thought, well, if I'm getting their attention, this must be something kind of cool. And it started to kind of gradually grow a little bit, but the cork was not a big thing. So I came home, I showed the piece to Eric, and I told him, I think I want to try ordering some of this, for my business. So I ordered like just natural. That was it. And I tried it out, and when we took it to a show, because we only had one color and like one size, it sold out. It sold like super, super quick. And I thought, okay, well, I'll try it again. Tried it again, sold out. So I said to him, I remember it was winter. It was like the end of the year. I had sold it like twice. And I said, I think I want to order a bunch of different colors from Portugal. Like, I think this could be a really cool product. And I remember he was like, it's your business, do whatever you want, but like, how are you going to sell it? Like, are you sure this is what you want to do? And I said, yes, because we had just gotten into hardware. I ordered one roll. I agonized over picking out like 10 colors. That was the hardest decision ever. And I haven't looked back since. And now our specialty is actually prints, which is really funny because we started with all the colors because we did so many like bold prints. Now it's all about the printed cork. We have like probably 100 plus prints, and they rotate back and forth. Are you doing the truffle shuffle for me right now? So,
I'm trying to get your attention.
you don't want to see what's on the other side of the camera. Listen.
Hi.
Hi. You're gonna.
I've done my interview with Terminator.
Okay. Can you? Oh my goodness. So that's how we got into cork, and yeah, I fell in love with it as soon as I bought it, and especially because I could iron it and I could sew it really easily, and it wasn't like vinyl. I just was obsessed. This is not normal, so I hope you're all enjoying this. Amy, okay, so Amy said I went through a phase watching dot painting every night for months. So I was telling them this during the virtual retreat. This is how it happened. This is how I got into the dot painting. I was on TikTok, and I have two TikTok accounts. I have a personal account where I don't really post much, and then I have my business account, and I try to keep my business account with all of like sewing and creative kind of stuff. I don't want to follow the funny stuff. That's more on the other side. So this girl popped up into my feed one day, and I call it Glittergate 2022. She had purchased glitter that she uses inside of these ornaments, and then couldn't figure out where it came from, couldn't find it again, and it was like her top selling ornament. So imagine you make and sell bags, and it's your top selling pattern, and you can't find the key piece to it. You can't find the hardware, the zipper, whatever. So she was just having this horrible time trying to find glitter, so she kept buying more and more and more. You know how that goes. And then she just kept buying it, trying out more and more colors. And I just got hooked because in between she'd be showing the ornaments she was making, and she would show all these like mandalas that she was making, and her work is just phenomenal. And she posted something, I feel like she knew I needed this. She posted something last week that was like, I can't believe how far I've come. And she showed her first one that she started sometime in like 2020, 2021, and then showed now, and the vast improvement. And we all forget, because we're good at certain things, we forget when we start something new that we're not always good at it. And it was like she knew I needed to see that, because I was like, that's right, I'm not great yet, but I can get better. I have to just practice a little bit more.
You're perfect.
Well, thank you, that's very nice of
Did you
you.
show everybody your thing? Not that thing.
Yes, I showed him my thing, honey, thank you. He's done. So let me see here. Oh, Karen, thank you very much. Yeah, Cindy, we'll work on a plan for you. We'll deal with your husband. We'll find something for him to entertain himself somewhere, and then you can come and sew with us. Barb said you look like a star with your shades on.
You're damn right. Good job, Barb.
That's all he needs to hear. Yes, the eye drops. So Eric has to do these 3 different types of eye drops like 4 times a day. So yesterday, because he was being impatient, he decided to do it himself. But what happened, honey, since you couldn't see anything?
I got it in my face.
He got it all over his face because he couldn't see where his eye was, and he didn't know where he was supposed to put it. That's what happens when you don't wait for your wife to help you. That's how it goes. So now I have the duty of putting his eye drops in.
You said duty.
I did say duty, yes. It went very well, Pam. All right, so trying to think. That was my toaster oven. It's very loud. It's like the loudest alarm ever. It's like very frantic. It's done. So, what else? What else do you guys want to know? Because I don't really have anything else to show you or tell you. And everybody left me again. They probably won't come back. Barb's at the office shipping orders. Yes. Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens when you are a stubborn man and you convince yourself that you can do everything by yourself. At around 6 o'clock last night, I said, do you want to do your eye drops? And he goes, I already did them. I said, did you get them in? He goes, no, I get them all over my face. So that was how that went. You know, honestly, Cindy, he's not a baby when he's sick. He's not that person, which I'm very thankful for, because I do know how a lot of the men folk are. But no, he's actually pretty good about it. He's not a complainer. He does like to go in his own direction, and I'm like, can we follow the direction from the doctor who went to med school, you know? So this time he's being better about it because it is his eye. So he's on his routine. He's doing his thing. So, all right. Question about in-person classes, the 2-day ones, are they specific bags or any So Many Creations bags? So it's going to be just like it says, like there's a little outline on the website, but it's going to be just like the 1-day classes. You can work on any bag that you want of mine. So you come with it prepped and ready. Do as much prep work as you can. I would say bare minimum, get it cut and fused. If you want to start, if you want to come with like some projects started, because then it'll be easier. If you want to make your handles, or, you know, get to the point where you know, don't know what you're doing, or if you want to, you know, just have everything cut and fused, you can do that. But you can work on any of the patterns, and I would say there's two ways to look at it. You know, taking a weekend and just working on like mindless kind of things, tourist tote bags and zippered pouches is totally fine because you feel like you've accomplished something. But if you work on something more complicated that you didn't have the courage to do on your own, that's what I'm there for. So then you'll have me to help you out. We do have, we have a few machines at the shop. So if you want to try one out, or if it's easier for you to not travel with one, just let me know ahead of time so I know how many machines are being used and if I have to bring the one I have from home. Because I have two at the shop, I have one here, and then I also have two domestics at the shop. I have two HD9s. So we have plenty of machines. We have a ramp, we have plenty of parking, we have all the amenities that you could need. You're welcome to shop while you're there. We have rivet presses, there's two of them there. I've got a bunch of dies. We have a big cutting station. We've got all the stuff. So you can, you know, if you don't want to lug all your stuff, you don't have to. If you don't want to bring your rivet press, don't. If you want, you know, just provide the hardware and you're welcome to use whatever I have. But if you have any questions that I didn't address on the website, just send me an email and I will let you know. If you're wondering if I have something or if something is okay to do, you know, just let me know. I do not live in that area. I'm just gonna let you know. So that area to me is newer because I don't live there. I live about 40 minutes away. So I don't always have all the answers about, you know, hotels and restaurants and stuff, but it's stuff that I can easily find out for you. That's not a problem at all. Thanks, Judy. I didn't even think about that. We are right near Sacandaga. So yes, if your husband likes to fish, there's plenty of outdoor stuff that husbands can do. Yeah, Cindy, I'm kind of the same way. When I'm sick, I don't like to be bothered, and I hate being asked constantly how I feel. I know that people do it because it comes from a good place, but it's like when I don't feel good, I don't want the daily, like, how you feeling? Still not good. Just leave me be. Leave me in peace. Just, you know, just keep your distance. Let me do what I need to do, and don't wake me up if I'm napping. That's not a good thing. I would love if you could come, Amy, and if you want me to, yes, I can provide the scary threats. If you don't know what that means, don't worry. I scared Amy with my my threading video. It's a long story, but don't worry. She's okay. She lived, I lived, the machine's fine, so we're good. So next week, I will be leaving on Tuesday to head to North Carolina. I'm teaching Friday and Saturday at the Sewing Room of Garner. So if you still haven't signed up and you're thinking about it, do it as soon as possible, because I am leaving on Tuesday and I don't want to miss being able to bring something that you need or put your kit together for you. And then I'll be staying for a few days with my sister. My sister's birthday is Friday, so I planned it to be able to be there for her birthday. So she will be working Friday morning. So before I go to my class, I should be able to do YouTube Live from her apartment. Hopefully I'll have something to show you other than her dog. But she has all sorts of plans for us to eat, which is fine. That's one of the things we love to do, eating in horror movies. But she also keeps forgetting that I am old compared to her and her friends, and she's telling me about the bars that she's going to take me to, and I don't think that it's going to be as much fun as she thinks. When everyone asks, oh, is that your mom? So yeah, so my sister has all sorts of plans for me next weekend, and I will be teaching. The bee flip locks. Okay. The bees are adorable. They are even cuter in person. I'm telling you, they're just absolutely, the quality's great. They're super cute. They sold out so quick. Like, we only have a few left, and I didn't even use any to make anything because I haven't had a chance to. I do have a restock coming. I think they're gonna be here around June, but I don't know exactly when, but I do have those coming. We've got a bunch of stuff on order that I'm just kind of waiting on top of all of the other things that we're doing. So you will be seeing lots of different updates and things. I just don't know when and what's going on. We have a cork restock coming. We have actually two cork restocks coming, some hardware coming. We have some new hardware. We have a lot of stuff going on right now. So it's going to be a busy summer. And Barb said the other day, and I didn't even think about it, we're slowly approaching our 1 year of being in that building. And it's crazy to me because this time last year, right around this time was when I started looking at the original building that fell through. So it's just absolutely crazy. Ah. Good. I'm glad you're going to be ready in June, because in June we will have the bees. So Barb knows. Barb's busy. Barb is actually like a smidge less busy since her retreats are done until the fall. But she told me the other day how many quilts she has to do. So she's definitely not really much less busy. She's got a whole bunch of quilts to quilt. We've got orders to ship, and she's planning her vacation. Summer is around the corner. 4 hours and 25 minutes is not that bad, Amy. So, you know, it's not that bad. And I promise I won't scare you. I won't thread the domestic with any of the heavy stuff. I'll be gentle. So, does anybody have any other questions or anything else they want to know about? It's fair game, whatever you want. It's a free-for-all Friday, which we haven't done an official one of those in a while. So that means you can ask me anything you want under the sun, and I will answer it. And if I don't know the answer, I'll make it up. Oh, and if you get a chance, head over while you're on YouTube to my friend Nova's channel. That's So Nova. She just did a Jane Wallet tutorial, and I started watching it this morning, but I didn't get a chance to finish it. So if you want to subscribe to another bag maker, I think she goes live every day, which is quite the commitment that I cannot do. But she does a bunch of tutorials on different people's bags, and I happen to be on her list. She ordered templates, and she ordered a kit, and she was all excited. And I saw her wallet, and I saw what she had cut out for the video, and then I couldn't watch anymore. So Nova is amazing. She's so sweet. We met last November at So Magical. She just came over, and she was talking to me and looking at the cork and looking at all sorts of stuff, and you know, and I knew who she was, and we just had a nice conversation. And then she was doing her video, and we just kind of kept in touch ever since. And so she had asked me if she could do a tutorial on the Jane, and I was like, go for it. I love to see other people spin on things. And what she was explaining, where I had to stop, is that she did make a few changes because she's using like a heavier piece of hardware. And so she was making a couple of additions, and she was putting a piece of cotton inside the zippered pocket. So just something fun to watch. Excuse me. Amy, if you want me to scare you, I can. Excuse me. That is totally fine. I can do that. Not a problem. So if you want to come to the shop, I will do whatever it takes to terrify you. That is a service that we are happy to offer. So I have not seen any of the videos with Nova's husband. I have seen him, but I have not seen him in any of the videos. I know her daughter is her model quite a bit, and she's adorable, and she models her bags and everything. That's So Nova. Yes, that's her. If you just search in the search bar on YouTube, you'll find her. So, and I'd love to see her, you know, get all sorts of followers. She's really, really sweet. So, and she also did, whose pattern was it? I don't remember if it was an Ora Rosa or a Country Cow, fairly recently, with the cork that I designed, the mauve and black and white flowers. So I'm happy to send you other bag makers to watch, because it's fun. There's such a great community of people to, you know, to watch. And I know that a lot of people do know about her, but a lot of people don't. So head over to her channel, tell her I said hello. You do use cotton in your Jane, Tina? That's awesome. So yeah, there's, you know, all these little things that you can always do. You don't have to follow the pattern unless that's what makes you the most comfortable and that's what you want to do. I love seeing your spin on things, you know, and this is a comment that I get a lot, especially in person. I get people that come up and they're like, I made your bag, whatever that bag is. And then they say, well, I hope you're not mad, but I changed this and I changed that. I'm like, why would I be mad? I know that maybe somebody would be. I'm not. I think it's awesome because I want to give you the foundation. And if you want to just use that as is, that's fine. If you want to take that and expand it and change it and make it into something that makes you happy, absolutely do that. I think that's one of the best parts about what we do. You know, and that's why it's always nice to throw your 2 cents in when you have like an idea for someone or you're showing them, you know, what you can do. show them how you changed something up. Show them that you did the strap different or you made it wider. That's totally fine. It's when it comes off of that negative, that like, well, why would you do that? We don't want to do that. We want to do like the happy stuff. That's why this morning, reading that comment on TikTok that was like, I have a great tip for you for sublimating tumblers, and I was like, tell me. I was like, because it wasn't like, well, you did it wrong, you should do it this way. We all be nice. That's all. We try to be nice. So, well, thank you. I try to be a good person. Trust me, I have my moments. We all do, but I try. I want our group and I want this page to be like a happy place and a safe place for people because, and I won't mention names because I don't do that, but I'm in a few bag groups, obviously outside of my own, and some of them I feel super safe and comfortable in, and I will post in those. And others, there's a weird vibe, and honestly, I don't know why I stay in the group. Maybe because I'm hoping to learn something. Maybe I want to see it get better, but they give me a weird feeling, and I don't feel safe posting in those. And I run my own business. I have my own stuff. There's no reason why I shouldn't, but if you don't feel safe and comfortable somewhere, you're not going to post anything. And I know sometimes people don't post because they're not familiar with how to do it. I can always tell you how to post something if you ever want help with that. We love to see what you make. But I want anything associated with me to be safe and comfortable. That way you know that you have like a nice place that you can go. I want to see your ideas. I want to see you make things. I had somebody the other day who had posted who thought she was doing something wrong, and she wasn't. It's the technique that I use for finishing a particular item. Because some of my bags, you have to remember, I started out so basic with my patterns. I never used hardware. I didn't use there was no YouTube. I didn't do anything crazy because I wanted it to be quilter and beginner friendly because that's who I was. I was a novice bag maker writing patterns, and I was a quilter. So I wanted the people that I knew to make my patterns. Now they've gotten more complex, but still not like, I'm going to rip my hair out. There's so many things going on. I just want to help you build your skills instead of just throwing it all at you at once. And great example here, okay? I look at Aura Rosa patterns, and Alexis is amazing. She's amazingly talented, and her patterns are not something that I necessarily strive to do. I will not be at that level because we are two very different designers. She does very boutique, look store-bought, high-end kind of designs because that's what she focuses on. I started out super, super basic, and am slowly and gradually getting more complicated with extra zippers and hardware because that's the path that I chose to follow. There's a place for all of us. It's totally fine that we're both so different, but if you were a first-time bag maker doing one of her patterns, it might take a little bit more thought because it's a little bit more complex, but it's just two different ways of looking at things. I don't know how we got on this tangent, but there we are. So I don't know. But anyway, and the Aura Rosa group is amazing, and they are all so talented and they're so sweet. I don't post in that group because I have never made one of her patterns. I know, shame on me, but I don't make other people's patterns. I have my reasons. They might seem strange, but I don't really make other people's patterns. But I love being in her group because I love seeing her photography, number one. Her insight into making patterns is so different from mine. We have such different ways of thinking and addressing things. I love seeing what she does. She loves herself some binding. I'm not a binding girl. So I love being in those groups, and I do feel comfortable commenting. I'm just not posting because I don't make her patterns. But it's just fun to be inspired. And sometimes she puts together these combinations that are so simple, but they work so well. Her, was it the Tiny Beast? Or maybe it was the pattern before that. She did it all in like a butter yellow vinyl, all one color. And I was like, I never do anything simple. I never do anything like maybe black, but I never do anything like really simple. And it was so elegant. That's inspiring to me. So I don't know. This is what we do. We go on tangents. So, okay, Tina, you understand me. A lot of you do. I'm not into binding, but I get why people are. I understand why people buy, because it gives the bag such a structure. It gives it almost like its own skeleton inside, and it makes it very structured, and it's a great way to finish a bag. It's just not for me because I hated doing it on quilts, so I don't want to do it in my bags, but I get why people choose to do it. And if you ask Alexis, she's like set binding for everything, and that's, you know, and that's fine. We all have our different methods, and that's why there's room for everybody. I just keep saying it. Oh, see, and Jenny, I understand. Jenny said, I don't post anything on Facebook. I'm afraid of saying anything. You don't know what would trigger someone. And that's the sad part. It really is, because literally anything could trigger anyone at any moment. So if you're in our group, like, I don't know if you are, but if you're in our group, you know, post something. Like, it's meant to be happy. It's not, you know, we're not randomly posting on Facebook where someone's aunt is going to be mad because she doesn't like, you know, whatever you're saying. Somebody will always find a way to be mad at something. It is the way that it is. I can assure you, in my group, the minute that somebody is going to take whatever you said and misconstrue it and make it into a negative comment, I will erase them. I will eliminate their comment. When I eliminate your comment, that's your first warning. After that, you're out, because I don't deal with that. And I've had it happen to myself. I had it happen years ago on my personal page. You say something that's funny to you and it's funny to someone else, but it's not funny to everybody else, because everybody takes things differently and wants to make things into an argument that they're not. And I just don't have time for it. I have amazing admins and moderators in my group, and they don't put up with it either. So they've been trained. They know they don't tolerate it. Our group is, I want it to be happy. It is my patterns, and so I want to see my patterns in a happy light. I don't want to see someone go, I hate this pattern. That's not helpful. Cindy, all I see is caps lock, and then I see I am mad about something. I'm mad I don't live closer to your shop. Well, that's legitimate, and you should be mad about that. That's totally fine. You're allowed to be mad. Aw, Lisa, that makes me so happy. You make Ora Rosa because you learned something from me. Yeah, Cheryl, I cannot take all the credit for it. I do have several admins that also help out in the group as we've grown, and a lot of them actually kind of volunteered they're like, we got you, because they want to help me out. As our group is growing, I couldn't do it all by myself, and Barb couldn't do it all by herself. So as it grows even more, we may have to, you know, add other things on. The one thing about our group, and I don't flex the rules for anybody except maybe for my husband. I think Cheryl allowed him in without answering questions. There's 3 very simple questions, and you have to agree to the rules. The reason that I do that, it's not because I'm just horrible and the reason I do that is because of spam accounts and robots. Because if you don't answer the questions, or if you don't put in legit words, and I know you're a spam account, you're out. I don't want our group flooded with spam accounts. I get enough of it on my own. Right now, every single day that I have logged onto Instagram, this entire week, I have been tagged in a spam account for some clothing company out of China. And I'm like, stop tagging me. So I keep blocking them, and then they make a new account. I block them, they make another account. That's why I don't want that in the group. So that's why a lot of times with groups like that, that's why there's questions, because we're trying to get the robot accounts out. Have you ever seen a comment on something you've made that's like, hi, beautiful woman, I think you're so amazing, with all the rosebud emojis? Those are robots. So we're trying to not let those in. That's why I have lots of admins, and they help. Oh, Eric did answer the questions. Thank you, Cheryl. I'm just checking. My husband finally joined our group. You will see him trolling around and leaving comments because he does love to tell you how beautiful your bags are. If you see Eric Vandenberg spelled differently than mine, that's my husband. So we don't know how to spell our last name. But he did answer the questions. Cheryl asked if I wanted the pleasure of letting him in, and I said, no, you can do that. I deal with him enough. But he finally joined the group a few months ago, and he's very excited. He loves looking at all these bags, and he leaves comments on a lot of them. So, You're making your 5th Charlotte, Mary. That's awesome. And yes, Cheryl, Instagram is just horrible sometimes all around. Shelly called him out. He didn't answer them at first. No, Helene, whenever a man tells you on Facebook that you're beautiful, that's real. It's everybody else. Those are not real. Those are not real at all. So I have to delete a lot of those, and they're insane. So, ooh, you guys and these teenagers and children, you keep asking me for bags for younger children. What would be good for a 13 and 15-year-old? Well, so I am not a child. I don't have a child. So my first thought is a Charlotte, because it holds your cell phone, and all the teenagers love their Charlottes. And a Lola, thank you, Beth, because Lola is small, so it's not an overwhelming purse for like an older teenager. If they want a backpack, the Everly is great. It's not huge. Excuse me. And you could scale Everly fairly simply if you want to like make it a little bit smaller. Cindy said the Alice, and I kind of forget about that. Sorry, Grandma. I was named after her and I forget about her. The Alice is great, and the Alice comes in 2 sizes, so the smaller size would be really good. Olive is smaller. Olive might be for like more of a teenager, but I think any of those bags would be really good. And these are questions. Somebody had emailed me the other day and asked me, and I was like, I'm not the best person to answer this because I don't have teens in my life. And when my sister was in that age group, and even now, she doesn't carry bags. My sister's more of a wallet, and that's it. Ask in the group, like, if, you know, this is how old my granddaughter is, and I want to make something. What are your recommendations? Our group will answer you. 100% they will answer you. So you're making a Margie, Helene. I can't wait to see it. I'm very excited. Yep, Jill, that's exactly what it is. I do stay in a lot of groups for knowledge and information. I don't like the drama. It's hard for me because a lot of times the drama is based around ripping apart other people. It's not just like, I'm having a horrible time at home right now and I need to vent. Those are not great either. But I see things in these groups and they're so mean to the designers, and then no one steps in, and it just frustrates me because I am a designer, and a lot of the things that people are complaining about, personally, I don't think are really legit complaints. It's personal preference. You guys here make my patterns because you like my patterns and my style of writing. Somebody else, you could meet someone who's like, I hate her patterns. I tried them. I don't like them. It's not because my pattern's bad. It's because it doesn't work for that person. And that's the hard thing, that a lot of people don't grasp that concept. The pattern is bad, end of story. No, the pattern didn't work for the way that you learn. And it's really, really hard because some people, like Cheryl Taylor, for instance, I know she makes all different patterns from all different people, and she also alters things because that's how she learns. She learns in a different way. Other people are like, I don't make anybody's patterns but yours. You know, and that's totally fine. Everybody learns differently. And that's, if I've learned nothing else from teaching, it's that. Everybody has a different way of learning. So, thank you, Connie. The name of the group is the So Many Creations Pattern Dedication Group. I changed the name so that it would be easier to find because it was called the same name as my page, and then you couldn't find it. There's 4 questions. The banner is like red and orange. It has like cork, and then I think it has a circle. I don't remember. But you can find it on, if you go to my page, if you find the page and you go to the group tab, you can find it there. So, Cheryl, I couldn't agree with you more. People need to think twice before they post because words can't be taken back. And that is true everywhere. Whether it's talking about your crummy in-laws or a bad experience you had at Walmart, or you're talking about somebody's bag patterns, those pattern designers read them. I'm in a group that I've been in. I don't even think I get notifications anymore, or I may have left. I don't know. The whole reason that I was told to join this group is because people were trash talking me, and one of my friends was like, they're talking about your patterns like in a really, really not nice way. And I thought to myself afterwards, why did I just join this group to watch myself being mocked? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I guess I was feeling sadistic that day, but I don't like that happens and then moderators don't jump in. And that's another reason why my group is dedicated to only my patterns, because I can control my patterns. I can answer your questions, I can take care of things. I can't control if you're like, hey, I just bought so and so's pattern and it's awful, and then you start trash talking them. Negativity just brings more negativity. Read any post that has something rotten to say, how many people defend them and how many people chime right in and get right into it. It just, it breeds. That saying, misery loves company, couldn't be truer on the internet. So as soon as somebody's like, wah, I'm mad, everybody else is like, me too. And then it just becomes crap. And I don't want to deal with that. So, well, thank you, Cindy. I like making videos, and I think I do a pretty good job at it. And I also did not know what I was doing in the beginning. I have not watched any of my old videos because I don't know how bad they are, but I feel like now I've gotten into a good rhythm. So, yeah, that's also true. You never know who's lurking when you pop off without thinking. It's true. And just because they don't comment doesn't mean they don't read it. And I don't want to be the reason that someone's feelings are hurt. Unless that was my goal that day, which it generally isn't. I don't want to be the reason that, like, you went home and felt bad about yourself. I just don't want to be the reason that, like, your day went downhill real quick. That's not really my cup of tea. And some people can't be fixed. So we just don't deal with them. We don't like them. So yes, swiping, skipping, not commenting, these are all options that every one of us has. We don't have to say something. And Eric and I talk about that a lot because he'll see things. He's in truck groups and towing. I don't know what he does. But he'll see something and it's the same thing there. They're not even they're not sewing. They're talking about, whatever. I don't know what he does. But they'll be talking about a forge and someone's like, well, it's a piece of garbage. And then it just goes and it just escalates into absolute just BS. It's just stupid. And social media is rough. And if I didn't have to do it, I wouldn't, because there are a lot of days where social media just hurts my feelings and makes me sad and makes me frustrated. And it's not even just things that are said to me or about me. I'll see something in someone else's group and I'm like, well, that's sour. Like, that was really mean. And it doesn't make me feel very good. And it wasn't even about me. I like being on social media and watching, like, happy stuff, dog videos, painting dots and doing all that kind of stuff. Cause that's it. That's the good side of social media. And you guys interacting with all of you. And yes, Cheryl, make sure that you answer all the questions because she hates declining people as much as I do. I do feel really bad when someone goes and answers 2 out of the 3 questions and I'm like, I can't let you in. I'm sorry. So if you invite your friends, tell them they have to answer the questions because we want to make sure that we don't have to tell them no because it makes us all feel sad. So, it's on my personal side, I barely ever go onto social media. I don't even know who I'm friends with anymore on Facebook. Like, if you friend request me, I'm never on Facebook. I just don't. If you follow me somewhere, like, I don't really post any of that stuff because it can be so toxic and I stay away from it. I'm friends with people mostly so I can see pictures of their kids and their dogs when I don't get to be around them. I'm on social media for my business because I have been on my streak. I have been posting something every single day since the beginning of the year. I've been doing it to watch my numbers and see how things change, but also because it keeps me relevant, it keeps me there. But because of the stupid algorithm, sometimes posting every day doesn't help. This month my numbers are dismal because posting every day sometimes all of the algorithms bump you out and they do something called shadow banning and basically you don't get seen. So if you feel like you haven't seen something from someone in a while, you may have unfollowed them by accident because sometimes it does that, or they could have gotten it's not being banned, but you're kind of put on like the back burner and you don't get up in the forefront. And it's really stupid because January and February, everybody was seeing my stuff. Towards the end of like April and May, my stuff is not getting shown. I hate social media because of all that. It's just stupid. Oh, I'm glad you're here for laughing. We all need to go by the basic rules before posting. Is it true, kind, and necessary? What's the contribution? I like that. I like that a lot. I really do. And you know, there's a thing called constructive criticism. You can say something and it doesn't have to be mean. If somebody's on there, this is my rule. Somebody posts a bag and they're like, look at this bag I made, I'm so excited. I have no business going, well, you could have done it better. That's not my place to do that. They're happy, leave them alone. Now, when someone comes on and they're like, I love this bag, but I feel like I'm missing something. I could be doing better. Like, do you have hints on top stitching? I'm fine with throwing that in there because you asked me for some hints. But I also don't need to also say, well, yeah, because your top stitching is garbage. Here's how it can be better. You see the tone, and we can't hear tone in words. So if somebody is just like as happy as can be with whatever they're posting, it is not my business to knock them down and be like, well, I don't like your color combination. Who gave me that job? That's not something for me to say anywhere. But somebody else thought it was their job. So I don't like to do that. Yes, if they ask for advice, absolutely, in a nice way, because we can all stand to learn something. I do this as a business and I still learn stuff. Like, I still have you guys going, did you know that this happened and that happened? And I'm like, no. Like, I didn't know. So, Dalva is here. She is on my comments up towards the top. But she is here. So, let's see. Oh, you found your embroidery teacher on Facebook and you take a Zoom class once a week. That's awesome. I missed a question. I'm trying to go back and see who asked it before I log off for the day. Somebody was asking, now I lost it. I'm sorry. Somebody said, am I going to keep doing the hardware videos? I'm assuming you meant the 1 minute little tip videos on hardware. Yes, I've gotten a little bit sidetracked because I kind of maxed out on the stuff that I had, and now I want to kind of jump back in and get back into some of those basic 1 minute reels that I was doing. I got to get back into those. I've been doing all sorts of other things and traveling, which the traveling throws me off because I just haven't had a chance to film stuff. I try to pre-film. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Teresa. I didn't know. I knew somebody asked me. So I'm hoping that maybe before I leave on Tuesday that I can do a couple of things so I can be better prepared for traveling and I can have some stuff pre-filmed and I can edit and upload it while I'm away. It just all depends on how the rest of this weekend goes. It is Mother's Day this weekend and I'm taking my mom out tomorrow for lunch. So I will definitely work on more of those videos. I kind of took a little break and then I want to get back into doing like more bag kind of stuff. Connie wants earrings. I have acrylic for you, Connie. I just haven't had a chance to cut it. There's only one of me, so I need to do that. I do have stuff for 4th of July because it's gonna be here before we know it. And I think I have some miscellaneous other prints that will be like everyday kind of earrings. So yes, I will be getting back into making earrings. Maybe if I can get some cut, I could take them with me to my sister's apartment because that's an easy travel project that I can work on. So sublimating for earrings, that is also a possibility. The manufacturer that I get my acrylic from has a special, I forget what they call it, but it's made for sublimation. It has the correct coating on it. So I might have to order a piece and try that out. My head is always spinning, Cheryl. You knew I was like kind of like mellow last weekend because I was like, I'm taking a break. Now all the stuff is in and now I'm like, I gotta do all these things. So I don't have a lot of time. That's why you haven't seen any earrings. Once I get them cut, it's just a matter, I can sit anywhere. I can do them in the car, on the couch, whatever. So if I can get some cut this weekend, I will bring them with me because I will need to entertain myself when I'm at my sister's house while I'm waiting for her to get out of work. So that is a good thing for me to bring with me. So, Your Cricut Maker. I cannot teach you how to use your Cricut Maker, but I know that there's a lot of people on the internet that can, and there's some really cool videos. So Cindy, watch some of those because you're going to learn all sorts of things. I keep getting all this stuff about, did you know this Cricut hack? I don't have a Cricut. I don't know why they keep telling me how to do things with the Cricut I don't have. But I will be playing with my Scan and Cut more. So, so I think that's going to do it. I had nothing to say, and now we've been here for over an hour. So, I will see you guys again next week without Barb and no Eric because I will be at my sister's. If I have to change the time at all, I'll let you know, but I think I should be fine because I think my class on Friday is later in the afternoon, so I should be totally fine. And hopefully in the meantime, I'll have some things to show you. Other than that, post in the group, join the group, do some fun things, enjoy the weather because it's, oh, it says it's 81. It's gorgeous here right now. So I think that's going to be it. I will be driving on Tuesday, so next week if you email me for anything, I might not get back to you right away, but I will get back to you. So, all right, I think that's going to do it. Have a good weekend.